I'm Leela Hartman, 34 years old, and I've always lived in the shadows of my family. I reside in Seattle, Washington, where the air is crisp, the rain constant, and I've felt more like a ghost than a woman for far too long. I've been the peacemaker, trying to smooth over tensions and absorb the chaos that swirls around me. My family is a lively bunch, colorful and loud, but somehow my colors got muted. I've carried their burdens on my back while mine felt too heavy to even speak of. Thanksgiving was always a mixed blessing. The table, adorned with golden turkey, stuffing, and sweet potatoes, radiated warmth, until you looked beyond the food. I often found myself on the periphery, an uninvited stranger to my own life. That year, when I was 14, I threw a birthday party, one that I looked forward to for months. But I canceled it at the last minute because my parents decided we should take a family trip instead. In some twisted way, I thought sacrificing my happiness to bring them joy was noble. It felt right in the moment to hear my mother's laugh, joyful and carefree, even though I hid my own tears behind a forced smile. I can still remember her voice, echoing through my mind, how I wished she could hear the quiet sobs I muffled. Years slipped by, and I felt the sting of betrayal settle in the corners of my heart. My brother, Caleb, was the family's golden child. He got everything handed to him, the praise, the resources, the love. I was the one who stood dutifully by, applauding his every achievement, while my own accomplishments faded away like a whisper in a crowded room. I remember the moment it crystallized, the sound of whispered words, heavy and sharp. I overheard my mother speaking to my sister, Emily, about me, casually labeling me a burden, her tone almost nonchalant. I was just a small footnote in their lives, a name flung about like an unwanted paper cup tossed into the trash. The look in her eyes when she glanced my way turned to something less than love. I felt it even as I helped prepare the Thanksgiving meal, chopping vegetables and earning my keep. Their laughter rang hollow like the clinking of glasses in a bar. I watched them, my heart constricted, as they toasted each other over a feast I had helped create. Their joy felt like salt on my wounds, a steady reminder of my isolation. I was the silent observer, the shadow alongside the vibrant colors of their existence, tasting ashes where happiness should have flourished. My resolve began to twist and coil like a snake. I made a decision. I would forge my own path. Empowered by their assumptions, their jabs, I transformed my frustration into something powerful. I started my own catering company. Every late night spent in front of the stove guided my hands toward healing. I poured my heart into each dish, crafting vibrant flavors that danced on plates, creating spaces where joy could thrive. I didn't tell my family initially. I let the dreams simmer, building a life outside of them, one they wouldn't see coming. The following Thanksgiving marked a turning point. I was hired to cater the very celebration that had once felt like a battleground. My heart raced as I donned my chef's coat, the fabric a symbol of my hard-fought journey. I stepped into the home that had once felt like a cage and felt an electric thrill of both dread and certainty. As I moved quietly through the beautifully set dining room, I caught glimpses of their laughter. The warmth that once suffocated me now seemed distant, as I felt the rise of my own inner strength. As the meal concluded, the moment arrived. I stood up, my heart hammering, every nerve ending alight with a mix of fear and defiance. Their laughter fell silent as I spoke, my voice calm and steady. To the woman who called me a burden, and to the brother who dismissed my dreams as delusions, cheers. The words hung in the air, heavy and chilling. It was a dry toast, a bitter twist planted in the heart of their joviality. I watched their faces shift from happiness to horror, the truth unraveling before them. The silence grew dense, wrapping around us like a shroud. Each breath I took heavy with the weight of their realization. Their misjudgment, their apathy. Caleb stood there, mouth agape, trying to find words, but they were trapped somewhere behind a wall of denial. My mother, her joy shattered, blinked rapidly as if trying to conjure up some semblance of the past where I'd just been Leela, the overlooked daughter, the forgotten sister. And in that moment of chaos, I felt liberated. Each gasp that left their lips sounded like my past uncoiling before me, unseen, unheard, finally recognized. I turned and walked away, leaving behind plates laden with food prepared by my own hands, the very hands they never believed could create anything worthy. The final thought lingered in the air like the fading echo of laughter, their regrets swallowed silently. Now, as I breathe in the crisp Seattle air, my heart feels lighter. I am not defined by them. I reclaimed my identity, refusing to linger in the shadows that once felt so all-consuming. I've grieved the loss of who I was, a cautious child eager to be loved in return. And now, standing independently on my feet, I embrace who I've become. I am no longer their burden, and they finally saw me, truly saw me, a radiant woman who doesn't need their approval. I don't need to scream for recognition. They felt it, raw and powerful, when I faced them. I let the silence speak louder than words could ever convey. My heart beats steadily with a quiet triumph, one I've long awaited, a recognition of my worth that they'll never forget.